Hey guys, welcome to my All About Me video for Christian leadership. My name is Kay Nicole Weisner and I'm 20 years old. I was born in Mobile, Alabama, so I lived there for a little bit and then I moved to Anniston, Alabama, and then I moved to Claremont, Florida, which is pretty close to Orlando. So I lived there when I was about 9 and 10, and then I moved to where I live now, which is Coleman, Alabama, when I was 10, about 11 years old, and I've lived here for about 9 years now. So this is where I've spent the bulk of my life, and I love it here in Coleman. It is like such a great place to live. I met my husband here. I just got married in September of last year, so we're coming up on a year now. My husband's name is Taylor Weisner. He is 22 years old, and he just recently started his own business, so we're really excited about that. A little bit more about me. My parents are children's pastors at Daystar Church in Coleman. They've been children's pastors for a long time. I don't even know how many years they've been, but they've been doing that ministry for a really long time, and they are super awesome. And I have an older brother who is currently traveling all around the United States. He works for Chick-fil-A corporate. He's about to own his own Chick-fil-A in Farmingdale, New York in January of 2019, so he'll be moving there with his wife soon, and they are expecting a baby boy in December of this year, so I'm going to get to be an aunt for the first time. I'm super excited. And I also have a younger brother named Logan, and he is a sophomore in high school, so that's pretty cool. So I get to see him often, don't get to see my older brother very often, and my older brother's wife's name is Holly, and she's like my best friend. So my husband and I, we both go to Daystar, and we both serve in the children's ministry there under my parents. We love kids. We serve in students. And my husband also serves as overseer, which is he kind of helps our lead pastor on some weekends and stuff like that. And we are both in Daystar College, which is, we do Lee online, but Daystar College is kind of a program that Daystar does where we intern and work with the staff of Daystar in order to gain leadership skills and stuff like that. And I'm actually on staff at Daystar now because of Daystar College, and I work in the accounting department. I do accounts payable, which is sometimes super fun, sometimes super not fun. I'm pretty good with numbers, but it can get a little boring, so I like to do the kids ministry and stuff to break that up. So, what does it mean to me to be a Christian leader? I think that is such a big thing because that can mean so many different things to different people. In my life, that means being an example and mentor to, like, I like to mentor young girls, like preteens and young teenagers and stuff like that. So that means to me to be an example to them, because I know that when they're looking at me and my husband and looking up to us, we have to set that example for them, and we can't do things that could lead them in a wrong way that would make them question us and our walk with God. I know that we have to be very aware of that. And the difference between regular leadership and Christian leadership to me is regular leadership can be very corporate or political, I guess, because people in leadership that aren't Christians could do whatever it takes to get to the top, whatever will put them one step ahead of the other person, and call that being a leader. When sometimes people that are leaders are just being bosses and bossing people around and aren't leading by example and aren't showing them the right way to do and aren't developing people under them. To be a Christian leader, the Bible really talks about how we should raise up people under us and that it's important to develop those characteristics in other people and also to honor those above us. Sometimes being on staff at a church, we see decisions being made that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm going to honor my pastors and the leaders above me because that's the position that I'm in, and I'm not going to do things to go behind their back and dishonor them, and they're doing what they believe is right, and they're Christian people, and to be a Christian leader is to follow those that are over you, but also to be an example to those under you and to develop. It is our such a responsibility to develop those under us, to take our place when we leave. When I leave that accounts payable position, I need to have raised up somebody under me to do that, and we need to have people in place behind us that can take over and have that conviction and fire to develop those leaders under us. So my biblical passages that I think help my understanding of being a leader is what's really important to me in being a leader is also that you work hard. And I really love Galatians 6:9. It says, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." And that is so important because we all go through times where things are not working out for us and we are working hard, doing what we're supposed to do, and we just feel like, what's the point? Like, what even is the point in me doing this and serving God? And ministry is hard sometimes, and this verse really speaks to me because it promises us that God will give us that harvest if we do everything that we're supposed to do and work hard, work with everything we have. God sees that and He's going to honor that. And I also love Ecclesiastes 9:10. It says, "Whatever you do, do well, for when you go to the grave there will be no work or planning or knowledge or wisdom." And the main part that I like about that is the very first part, "Whatever you do, do well." I actually have a sign up in my house that says, "Whatever you do, do well." That's something that me and my husband really strive to do. It's very important to do everything that you do as if you're doing it for the Lord, and we say that, and that's way, way, way easier said than done. But it's really important that whatever we do, whatever we put our hands to do, whatever our hand finds to do it with all of our might. Because God is watching and He's going to honor that. And also, like I said earlier, there's other people watching you when you're in ministry, and they need to know what a good Christian leader looks like. So, questions that I have about Christian leadership that I hope to be answered. That's hard. I think that I would like to know what being, how methods to not burn out in ministry would be a good topic to discuss, because that can be a hard one when you're being a leader and people are constantly looking up to you. You're on staff at a church, you go to church, you lead small groups. Sometimes being a Christian becomes just a emotion of things that we are used to doing, we know how to do, and it just becomes monotonous. But I think talking about burning out in ministry and how to recover from that, how to keep from going into that, is something that I would like to learn about. So, see you guys.